balance the following chemical equation. Okay, so we have this chemical equation, and we got Na sodium. Here we got 3 atoms, here just 1. So we want to basically multiply the whole thing by some number, let's say x1, multiply by another number x2, and we're going to make it equal number of atoms. Okay, we're going to multiply by x3, let's say x4. Okay, then we want to make, in this way we're going to make equal. Now if we bring this to the left side, means subtract x3, subtract x4, we get 0. So let me write that. So we have this when we move this to the left. Now we want to write down the corresponding system whose augmented matrix is the following. So the augmented matrix is the following. So from the very first term, if we look at this one with x1, so we got sodium 3, so 3 sodium, P, phosphorus 1, so just P, and oxygen 4, so oxygen. And if we look at it carefully, we got barium Ba, but there are none, so 0 bariums Ba. And we got N, nitrogen. In this first term there are no nitrogen, so 0 nitrogen. So we are writing in this way for each of these 4 terms. Okay, so in the second term, barium, so barium we got just 1, nitrogen 2 of those, so 2, oxygen 6, and nothing else, so sodium and phosphorus 0. On this third term, now negative, Ba3, so Ba3, but we got negative 3 because we moved to the left side, barium 3, P2, so phosphorus 2, but negative, oxygen 8, but negative 8. Okay, and then no sodium, no nitrogen. In this fourth term, now there's a negative sign here, by the way, sodium 1, so Na1, but negative 1, nitrogen, okay, just 1, but negative because of this negative sign, O3, oxygen 3, that's negative, and this phosphorus none, barium none, 0, and is equal to right hand side 0, means nothing, all 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So in this way we can set up a system whose augmented matrix is this. Okay, now we're going to do some row reduction and write this in row echelon form. Okay, we try to make this one if possible, second row. So let's swap first and second rows so that we get 1 here, and that makes our life easier. Okay, so swap R1 and R2, R1 and R2. Okay, so the next we want to do is, this is pivot, so we're going to make 0 here, 0, 0, 0, and we want to put some pivot there if possible, 0, 0, 0, pivot, 0, 0, pivot, 0. Okay, so we want to make this 0. Look at this R1, R2, R3, R4. If we move up, then this becomes 0. Okay, so we want to swap these 2 terms. That means we want to swap R2 and R4. So I just swapped R2 and R4. So R2 and R4, we have this. So this is good, 0, 1 not needed, but 1 helps. Now we're gonna make this 0 here. Okay, here we got 0, so we can swap R3 and R5. So let me write over there. So we swapped row 3 and row 5, so we have 0 here. Next we want to make this 0 using this pivot 1. At the same time we can make this 0 using 1 as well. So we want to do the following. So we want to work on R4 such that R4 plus negative 3 times R1 and R5, that is R5 plus negative 4 times R1. Okay, and the first 3 rows stay same, and we do this. So with these operations we are here. Next one, all zeros good. Here is a pivot, so you want to make this 0 0 0, so 1, and now there should be non-zero if possible, pivot, and then 0 0 and non-zero and 0. Okay, non-zero means pivot. Sometimes if we find one row multiple of another, then we can make the bottom row 0, because we can subtract by suitable multiplication and it becomes 0. Looking at these two, look at R3 and R5, 2 goes 3 times. If we multiply this by 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. So pretty much this one is 3 times this. So if we multiply this by negative 3 and combine with this, we're gonna get all zeros. So I'm gonna change this to 0 0. I mean, this is the case all the time. When 2 rows are just multiples of one another, then we can just make all zeros. This is good enough. So, and we always write all zeros on the bottom row. Okay, that's good. Now next we still want to make this 0. Okay, to make this 0, look at here 0. If we swap, then we'll be good. So that's R3 and this is R4, so we just interchange R3 and R4. Okay, so we swapped R3 and R4. We are in this place. Okay, we should have made this 0. Now same thing, now we need to make this 0. Okay, for this we use this pivot. So using R2 we want to make this 0. So work on R4. Okay, so work on R4 using the pivot, this one. So this will be R4 plus negative 2 times R2. Multiply this by negative 2, and 2 plus negative 2 is 0. So we do this, and when we move all zeros on the bottom row. Okay, let's do it. So performing this operation, R4 plus negative 2 times R2, this is R2, and R4, 2 times negative 2 0, 0 times positive 6 is 6, negative 1 times 0 plus 0 is 0. Oh, we got now R3 and R4 the same. Look at these 2 rows, they are same. That means we can just multiply this by negative 1 and add with this, so we can make all zeros. So basically we got 2 rows of 0. Okay, so let me write that. So we are getting this matrix. Okay, so this is x1, x2, x3, x4. Now this is in row echelon form, and we can solve for x1, x2, x3 and x4. Looking at this, so we got this pivot here, we got pivot here, we got pivot here, there is no pivot, so this is free variable, so that is x4, and we don't have pivot in the last column. That means good, we have a solution. In fact there is a free variable, so we have infinitely many solutions. So free, that's the fourth, so this implies the fourth is free, so we can choose anything of our choice. Going back to this third row, that's the 6x3 minus x4 is 0. Okay, now we add x4 to the both sides, and x4 is free, just keep x4, divide by 6, so this implies x3 is 1/6 x4. From the second row, this is x2 minus 3x3 0 0, that equals 0. Okay, so this implies x3 is 1/6 of x4, so this is x2 equals 3x3, 3 times 1/6 of x4, so that's 1/2 x4. Okay, and from the first row, that's the x1 minus 2x3, because the x2 second row nothing, equals 0. That implies x1 is 2x3, and x3 is 1/6 of x4, so this is 2 times 1/6 of x4, so that's 1/3 of x4. So we are looking for just one solution. In fact, if we keep x4 as a free variable, we have infinitely many, but we just want to balance the chemical equation. So let's choose x4 to be any real number of our choice. So we want to choose x4 so that we don't get these fractions. Okay, we have, this is free, anything, look at here, 1/6. So x4, if we choose like 6 or 12 or 18, then 6 divides. At the same time, that number should be divisible by 2 and divisible by 3. Oh, 6 is divisible by 2, divisible by 3, and also by 6. So we can just choose x4 to be 6. Then we can write everything now. Then this is x1, by the way, x1 is 1/3 of 6, that is 2. x2 is 1/2 of x4, 1/2 of 6, 3. x3 is 1/6 of 6, just 1, and x4 we just chose 6. So we're gonna plug this back on the top. 2, 3, 1, 6. 2, 3, 1, 6. So come back here. So the equation will be, so here I want to write this balanced equation in this way. So we know x1, x2, x3, x4. So if I move to the right side, I'm gonna get equality sign here. Okay, I'm gonna get equality here, and this will be positive. In fact, there is no equal when we move. Then this will be plus. So what are the values of x1, x2, x3, and x4? 2, 3, 1, 6. So this will be 2, 3, 1, 6. 2, 3, 1, not needed, 6. So this is the balanced equation. So if you count the number of atoms in both sides, they will be equal. Final.